What's up, YouTube? And we are live right now. We are live. Okay, good. Okay, so in this video, well, first I'm gonna have to kind of tone it down because I'm in the area where like I can't really speak to a lot of people who are gonna know. Obviously, I don't give a fuck. But anyways, today's topic I'm gonna talk about spiritual warfare, and I'm gonna talk about how to handle or how to recognize people projecting their pain, their insecurity, and their trauma onto you, right? And I'm also going to talk about my experiences being around a lot of like just weird ass people who will like be influenced by some type of entity, a demonic lower vibrational entity that will kind of like use their mind to try to attack me, or them trying to target me or to traumatize me psychologically, right? I've dealt with this a lot growing up. I'm also going to talk about my experiences being around a lot of bitchy, stuck up women who, like, for some reason, God or the universe, they or spirit likes to um throw these types of people towards my life for whatever reason. So let's get to it. Okay, so what I hate about most people, and the types of people usually God will really put me around. And when I say God or the universe, for you spiritualist folks, shut the fuck up. Like when I say God or the universe or spirit, I'm talking about my own beliefs. So if you don't believe what I believe in, then honestly just shut the fuck up with that, because no one gives a fuck about your opinion. But so how I look at about God. So like for some reason God will always put me in situations where like I'm always around very mentally unstable, very unhinged people, right? And like I've dealt with this shit through family members to where I had to cut all them off. And other people at the workplace. Now, just talking about it, like my life, like is not a coincidence. I've studied a lot of spirituality. I've done a lot of like work to realize that like a lot of people that I've dealt with, they're pretty much sent to get me off my path. Now, when I watched this channel called New My Frame, her latest video, she talks about how narcissists are demons sent to either destroy you or to keep you distracted off of your path. And she made a great point. She mentioned that like if you're meant for great things in life, if you're meant for a very special spiritual purpose, unfortunately, the devil or God will allow demonic entities to attack you, especially your whole life. I've dealt with this shit my whole life since I was like, I think 6 or 8. I don't want to go. It's personal. It's too personal. But I've been through some assault when I was around that age. And looking back, like I've the type of shit I've experienced, the average person hasn't experienced, and it's just not normal. So, without a doubt, there's a lot of heavily demonic influence attacking throughout my life, and that's confirmation for me knowing that like yes, I am meant for great things. I am meant to have a special purpose, which I already knew that. I'm not like most people where like they don't think highly of themselves. I think I'm aware I'm always meant for greatness, but I didn't realize how much I have an effect to where demonic spirits are fucking like trying to attack me through people and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So this shit's crazy. But yeah, when Chauncey won, when he made a video about like stuck up bitchy women and how most of them aren't shit, and but yet they expect men to like spoil them through money and to take them out and to treat them nice. And he mentioned that like these women, they can't even like bring the same shit to the table because themselves ain't shit. And Chauncey, he made a great point because like he made a lot of great points about most women. Like he mentioned that like most women, um, when they can't control their reality through their feminine energy, then they'll project that shit, and they'll project their self hatred and their insecurities onto people. And he's right because all the females I've dealt with that were disrespectful, they all do this shit. Not only towards me, but towards other people and shit like that. There are times where I have to cuss a bitch out, or like I have to put her in her fucking place. But this is what I hate about the military, because being in the military, unfortunately, you're forced to bite your tongue a lot. I am in the military, and like it sucks that I'm forced to bite my tongue because I've dealt with a lot of like corrupt leaders, or just women especially, who are just like stuck up and bitchy, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm not sure why they do the things they do, but most women I see in the military, they're always like, especially in a leadership role, it's like they have something to prove themselves, or like it's some type of insecurity where like some, not most, but some women in the military that I've dealt with, they're just so bitchy and stuck up. And I've seen a pattern where like I feel like they're very insecure, and they're just like there's just something wrong with them. It's like they have a point to prove. A lot of damaged women are in the military, you know, they're just something off with them. They're very unhinged. So it's just weird that looking back in my life, like I've dealt with a lot of like this mentally unstable people. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because like spirit or God will kind of put me into these situations where like I have no control over. You know what I'm saying? I have no control over the types of people I'm forced to be around. You know, for example, I'm in the military. I got 2 more years. You know, do I want to re-enlist? Do I want to get out? I'm not sure, but it just sucks that like wherever job I go to, and now that I'm in a career field and to where I can't literally quit, I can't get out, I can't just avoid people. I have to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So and these people they're very disrespectful. They like to project and like they're just I could tell like they're influenced by a negative entity to where now I gotta put up with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So um so see like most people like I'm not like most people like and I'm not saying I'm not annoying, but like most people they can't they can't really reflect on their lives. They don't do the work to reflect on their lives. They don't investigate, they don't research their patterns in life. Me, I do that a lot. Not saying I'm taking action this and that, because taking action versus researching your life and reflecting are both two different things. Although it is good to reflect on life, that sets the tone for your self growth and your self improvement and your self love journey. You have to reflect on your life and realize the patterns. What the fuck is going on? Me, I love to do that. So I've noticed a pattern within my life. I'm like spirit, God, or life. They always put me around very like mentally unstable people, right? Who like to project their bullshit towards me, right? Some people may say it could be your karma from past lives, or I don't know. But me, I have a lot of Scorpio placements, and I'm not sure if it's new age or not. But like yeah. Usually, people who have a lot of Scorpio placements, they attract people who like to project their trauma onto Scorpio placements. You know what I'm saying? And Scorpios, they always tend to have very intense connections. Also read an article to where like if Scorpio enters your life, it just means that you have a lot of healing work to do, and they're meant to shed that light, even though it's in their dispense. You know what I'm saying? But it's just weird though. It's very weird. So like it's shit like that where like if you're constantly like me, I'm always dealing with disrespectful people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always in a situation where like I either have to cuss them out, fight them, put them in their place, or give them back the same energy. You know what I'm saying? And it's draining because like there's a fine line between, okay, am I just, do I need to set boundaries, or should I just ignore it and let karma or let life handle this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because there are times where like I have taken action to defend myself, and I have gotten consequences from it, but I don't regret getting consequences, not because I've done the wrong thing, but because I've defended myself, or I gave these same people the same energy they're giving me, and that resulted in me like either having to leave certain jobs that damaged my finances, even with family members where I had to burn bridges with them because of what they're doing to me. You know what I'm saying? Which I really don't give a fuck, because if people are being abusive, then you're not really burning bridges. You're just, if anything, to win, because they're just showing you your true colors. But where was I getting at? So what I'm getting at is like, um, there's a fine line. Like when should I let things, not let things slide, but when should I just ignore it and let God handle it, or should I just speak up and defend myself? You know what I'm saying? And Chauncey One, he made a great point. He said that like with more powerful spirits, if they're around very like weaker spirits, these weaker spirits, they could attack you, they could trigger you, they could target you, right? But once that powerful spirit attacks back, it's going to be more severe, or like it's going to be more intense, and it's going to be more it's going to be more influential, and it's going to have more an effect, and it's going to cause a lot of probably like a lot of chaos and shit like that, especially if these bastards are giving the same energy you're giving them, right? And when you mentioned that, like that really opened my eyes, because it makes sense, because it had like weaker spirits or demonic spirits like family members and other people at the workplace, or like they'll try or they'll try some bullshit towards me, and when I retaliate back, they'll end up getting extremely hurt and damaged, and like I'll let these people like kind of like be intimidated. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just annoying, but um I don't know, man. It's just this shit's annoying. So if you're how I approach about like when I'm in a situation to where like I'm dealing with bitchy women or just bitchy people in general, right? I like the more like the older I'm getting, the more I'm studying spirituality and how the human psychology works and how spiritual warfare, how spirituality and psychology comes hand in hand. Like when people try to start some shit with me or like they'll project or like they'll just start some bullshit, like I could see right through them. You know what I'm saying? And that like is weird though, because like in the past, like I didn't know too much about it, or even if I did, I just couldn't grasp it. It would have an effect on me, and I'll try to like give these people the same energy, or I'll try to like defend myself. But now when this happens, like up until now, like it's weird because like I want to say I don't give a fuck because it obviously it's having an effect on me because it's why I'm making it live. But it was more so like I just see these people for who they really are, and at this point, it's kind of sad, but like I'm not shocked that like a lot of people are just shitty, and a lot of people are just damaged, and a lot of people aren't doing the healing work, and a lot of people are just damaged. We have a lot of damaged people in this world, and I've talked about this a lot. A lot of people talk about this. The reason why there's a lot of damaged people is because of work. You know what I'm saying? Especially females. Most females, they're not built to work in this system because most females who work in this system, I'm not saying all females, but most females who choose to participate in this 9 to 5 rat race, they just become bitchy, stuck up, cold hearted, and just horrible people. You know what I'm saying? Especially the longer they work. They weren't meant to be in this system. They weren't meant to work like that. Women love to say equal rights and let me do this and that, but yeah, they haven't invented anything. They haven't created new things. They're just fucking followers for men, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And someone made a great point where like, okay, the country was getting attacked, and what the hell are women going to do? They're not going to defend themselves. They don't have the physical strength or capacity to defend themselves. Men do, not women. Men do. So women, they're just fucking followers, or like they like to claim certain shit, or like the feminism movement and shit like that. But in reality, men rule the world, not women. They think they do and they want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But men, they control the shots. You know, so this is why when women, when they're participating in society, when they want equal rights and shit like that, they tend to lose their mind, or like they tend to like lose themselves being or participating in the societies for a long time, working for the system. um yeah, because you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly, because a lot of women are like that. I'm not saying all of them, but most women God wanted me to encounter with, yes, they're very stuck up and bitchy because of the system they're in. You know, this shit gets annoying. But I understand there are, I don't know, just whatever. But just know that like just know that like I can see the pattern. I know what life is trying to do. I know what God is trying to do. Like I see a pattern within people, right? So like I can see how like the types of people I'm around with, or I'm forced to be around with, observing my family, and I've experienced a lot of spiritual warfare. I've experienced a lot of demonic attacks, and just talking about it, someone watching this, they're gonna think it's corny. They're gonna think it's new age. They're gonna think like I'm just talking out of my ass, which nothing wrong with that. But it's one of those things where like if you haven't really experienced it, then you don't know what the person's talking about unless you experience it yourself. This is why you have other channels like New Mindframe, Denzel Moss, other channels. They talk about spiritual warfare and the devil trying to attack them, because this shit is a real thing. There are spirits who inhabit to people's bodies or minds to try to target or attack a certain person so they could psychologically trigger them or traumatize them, right? Or scar them, you know? And just looking back, I've dealt with this shit my whole life, you know? So this shit is not a joke. This shit is frustrating though, because at times I feel like okay, am I not defending myself more? Should I defend myself more? Should I set boundaries more? Which I think I should. I feel like I need to work on my balance of doing that. But from my perspective is like is draining, because why is it that like you're coming to my life and I have to set boundaries? I have to set a certain standard on how you should fucking treat me through emotional intelligence, right? And I feel like if you're in a position to like you have to set boundaries just to show people what not to do and to do towards you, that's not a true friend, or that's not a true person that really shouldn't be in your, that should be in your life, you know? People are adults. People know what the fuck they're doing. So like why is it that like you're trying to set boundaries towards a grown adult on how they should treat you or how they should react towards you? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that, and don't get me wrong, we all make mistakes, we're not perfect. I'm not talking about that. And it's easy to pinpoint that. But what I'm talking about is that like why is it that like when I come into connections, I'm very thoughtful and I'm mindful of how I treat people through emotions, right? And I try my best to work on the things I need to work on. But unfortunately, the people in my life, they do the opposite. They react out of impulse. They think they can say whatever they want to say, and they burn bridges like that. A lot of people burned bridges with me, and I kind of feel bad for these. I don't feel bad for these people, but I feel sorry for them because like they missed out on being a connection with me, you know, such as family members. They burned bridges with me, so now they don't have connections towards me. Certain coworkers, certain friends and shit like that, simply because they can't fucking control themselves. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like I'm not dumb. I'm not like most people. Most people, they like to project towards the whole world. I'm aware there are actually people who think like me. There are people who are on the same wavelength as me. There are people who are emotionally intelligent. There are people who see things how I see things, which I hope. But for some reason, God or the universe, they don't want me to experience these types of people in real life. They want me to experience the opposite of those people. Now, the reason my theory is that like so I can learn certain lessons, so I can help other people through my platform or through public speaking or through any type of path that spirit wants me to experience. I can use these experiences to help other people, because the type of shit I'm experiencing, the whole collective in a global scale are experiencing the same shit. So this is why like when you see like these spiritual, I guess spiritual teachers or spiritual YouTubers who like to dish out useful information, is because, and the reason why they know so much is because they have so much wisdom, is because they've experienced what the collective had experienced, but at an early stage in life, either that and or more intense. This is why people talk about it when like first like because you see people that talk about generational curses, right? That shit happened back in like fucking 2015ish, 2016ish. It wasn't popular until like 2000, until now. But before, back then, people didn't know what generational curses were and this and that, or family abuse or narcissism, right? New Mind Frame, I feel like she set the tone when it comes to narcissism, right? That was back in 2016ish, and but around that time frame, no one knew what narcissism was, or they weren't too much into that. Ever since he talked about those videos, it became popular and blew up. And now all these people, including myself, talk about narcissism and we overuse the word. But the reason why she even came up with the idea of talking about narcissism and how narcissism works is because she experienced narcissistic abuse through family, through relationships growing up. And and now that she experienced that shit, and once she's in the process of healing from it and learning from it, she's able to make YouTube videos back in 2016 to help share people about it. Now other people are doing it, so it's a huge domino effect. So that's my conclusion on why I'm experiencing things I'm experiencing. But at the same time, I also believe that like free will comes into play. I feel like these spirits, they're using their free will to inhabit into people who are vibrating low, into their bodies to attack me. This is why when New Mind Frame or other YouTubers who say shit like demon, when they say shit like in their YouTube title, or what they talk about is narcissists are demons sent, keyword sent, to distract you or to destroy you in your spiritual path, right? And they talk about they usually have an assignment to do that. So it makes sense, because this is why when people, when they're born into family structures, they're getting attacked, and once they get away from that situation, then they get attacked at the workplace, or they get attacked from people and shit like that. Some people like to call it gang stalking, or some people like to call it like being targeted. There's different terms for it, but overall it's a spiritual energy. And I'm not talking about where like you're not healing and then people are projecting that shit towards you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where like you're genuinely doing the healing work. You're on your path, but you always have people who are acting very strange, who wouldn't, who are who people who have unnatural human behavior start attacking you for no reason. That's what I'm talking about. That's spiritual warfare. I'm very familiar with that. Just because I'm familiar with it doesn't mean like I could tolerate it. No, it's disturbing, it's traumatizing, it fucks up your nervous system, it fucks up your psychological mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the reason why I'm able not to handle it, but I could like just deal with it and move forward, especially being forced to be around these people. Because ironically, I am in the military, right? I am in the army, and like it's funny how like, I'm forced to be around these people, and I can't quit. I can't get away from them unless my contract is over, right? So it's funny how God or life or the universe will kind of set my life up like that, to where like because I think I think God to know when you're living, God or life or your spirit knows who you are, and they know what you can tolerate and not tolerate. So it makes sense that like the average person, they probably couldn't tolerate that shit. But unfortunately, me, I'm forced to be around these people because I'm in the military. So I'm forced to be around these people. I'm forced to navigate around through that situation, and to observe them so I could learn from these people, right? So it's just funny how life works. It really is funny. Um, but yeah, but another thing. Hang on, I'm gonna read this. I can't even. What Ghostly said. I can't even get a job and shit because people freak me out how evil they are, bro. They won't even hire me or fail on job test, even when I job. Yeah, you see, like at least with you, Ghostly, at least with you, like you're aware of how unhinged and how corrupt people are, and I also be having the same thoughts because yes, it does seem like it. Because there are times where like, man, like I don't even want to be in the military no more. Because like me, I used to love being in the military. I thought it was cool until like the types of people I'm around with, and not just being in the military, but just in other jobs in general, where like people are just very fucking shitty. People are just very evil and shit like that, and it really turns me off to the way to the point where like is working for these jobs, trying to survive and make money, is it even worth it with your mental health? You know what I'm saying? And I was on Twitter and people are talking about how like they're experiencing disrespectful coworkers, and they just quit their jobs because they don't want to, because their mental health is important. And someone even mentioned that like someone died at the age of 25 because of stress, and your mental health is important. You know what I'm saying? Even with these jobs where like people people actually die from these jobs just by defending the system. You know what I'm saying? Chantuan talked about this. You know what I'm saying? And the system, these workplaces, they didn't do shit to support the victims of death. You know, and by these same victims of defending the system. These jobs, they don't give a fuck about you. There's why people say you're just a number. You know what I'm saying? But it sucks though, like because if you're watching this video, 1111 popped up, so that means I know I'm fucking tapped in. But if you're watching this video, just know that like unfortunately in this life, I'm not saying I'm right, don't take my word from it. Like follow your intuition. My best advice is to follow your passion and to follow your heart, regardless if it involves money or not. But if you're in a situation where like you're forced to make money, where you have to make money out of survival, my advice is to acknowledge the fact that most people are not healed. They're heavily spiritually influenced by demonic entities. And when you're working, when you're trying to become great in life, but just know that these people are going to project their shortcomings onto you, right? So don't take it personal. Just know that like just view life as a business. Life is, don't take life personal. Even though it is frustrating, I get it because I experienced this shit too. Despite all my research and studies, I still have a problem with people like this, because I've dealt with this my whole life, and it doesn't stop because we're meant for great things in this realm. Unfortunately, we live in a hell realm, right? So that means since we live in a hell realm, it's you're susceptible to be attacked by people's free will. And these people free will, the reason why they're doing things to you is because they're influenced by demonic entities. So because we're in a hell realm, it gives access to demonic entities in these spiritual realms to inhabit into people's bodies and minds to attack certain people who are trying to vibrate at a higher level. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you got to view it. You know what I'm saying? But and you can also set boundaries if it gets too much. Setting boundaries is very healing. You know what I'm saying? But just be aware that like you might have to experience this shit nonstop, and this shit is going to get annoying. But don't lose your mind. Don't go ape shit. Don't do things you regret, like going to jail or prison by harming a motherfucker, because they refuse to act right, right? If anything, ask for other authority figures, other people to support you, right? But it's just weird though, cause like I could look at my life and I could see through the bullshit. I could see what life is trying to do. I'm not sure if it's God or spirit of the universe or just it really is spiritual warfare. But how I look at it is like I'm very calculated. So like when I'm experiencing spiritual attacks and unhinged behavior from people, I'm very calculated. So like I'm trying to be very like again, I'm trying to be very what's the word? I'm trying to be very like again calculated because like I choose my battles wisely because just like what Chauncey once said, if you're a more powerful spirit, um if you were to give these demons the same energy they give you, you're gonna do some harm, you're gonna do some damage, right? I know what I'm capable of. So this is why I choose my battles wisely. The things I do need to work on is learn how to set boundaries at a respectful way. But me, I just can't do that. I'm either the type of person where like I either like ignore you or I'll fully attack you, right? And I've done this shit before. But it gets to the point where like people are really starting to like get on my fucking nerves and people, and that's the thing too. I think Chauncey, when he talked about this, people do deserve to get cussed out. People do deserve to get their ass whooped. People do deserve to get shot up. People do deserve to die. People do deserve to get harmed, you know, because they do deserve that shit because they weren't taught the right lessons growing up and they're just dumbass spirits and or they're just heavily possessed by demonic entities. So yeah, they deserve to get slapped across the face. They deserve to get punched or shot up, you know what I'm saying? Shit, like looking back, like this why I went like for example, like my family members, right? They're so abusive towards me all these years. So what I'll do is that like I'll take property from them. I'll steal their clothes from them. I'll cuss them out and I'll threaten them, right? Not because I'm being cruel, but because these people they need to know like the type of shit they're doing is not right. And when they do this shit to the wrong types of people, they're gonna get their ass handed to them, and or life is gonna show them what's up and they're gonna take things away from them because these people they don't know how the laws of karma works, especially in the year 2024. Honestly, I think it's bullshit. Like I don't really think that like it is a karmic year, but I do believe the year 2024 is a Saturn year. But I don't believe that there's actually justice that's going to come into play when it comes to karma. Not saying I'm gonna harm people and do shit because I feel like it, not because me, unlike most people, I'm the type of person where like how I approach life, I have morals, I have integrity, and I have a good heart. So I'm not like most people who just like to live life and cause chaos towards other people's lives. I'm not like people like that. I'm not like that. So I even if karma is not a real thing, even the year 2024 is Saturn year, even if it's not like a karmic year or a justice righteous year, I'm still gonna live life righteously because you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a firm believer of you treat people how you want to be respected. Because you know, but unfortunately most people in this world they don't have that mindset. Why they don't have that mindset is because they don't think highly of themselves, they don't believe in themselves, and they're they just failed a lot in life to where like they feel like they have to have a chip on their shoulder to when they're navigating through life. You know what I'm saying? People they can't generate their own light, they can't generate their own beliefs onto them. You know what I'm saying? So this is why they gotta take other people's light, they gotta project their bullshit towards other people, and they gotta, you know what I'm saying, they gotta steal your energy and shit like that. A lot of people are like that. And shout out to my friend because she mentioned that. But I'm not gonna lie, like I have a lot of anger towards females. I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, you know, I'm not bitter or I don't feel some type of way towards females. Nah, I'm be straight up. Like, I'm the older I'm getting, I'm really starting to hate females. Like, most females are, in my opinion, in my eyes, most females are bitchy. They're stuck up. They have a fucking attitude problem, and they're fucking useless. That's how I view most women. I understand all women aren't like that. I have interacted with not in real life, but in through online. I've honestly I only know one woman. I'm not gonna name her name, but there's just one woman online, right? One woman that I feel or she's actually a fucking woman and she's righteous, right? And she has a good heart. One fucking woman. But when it comes to other women, and not all women are like this, but most women that I came in contact with in real life, they're stuck up, bitchy, fucking rude, disrespectful, and they're fucking unhinged. You know what I'm saying? So I don't respect these women. I feel these women as like just, I can't explain it because I just have a huge disappointment from them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why would someone stick their dick inside them? You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. You know, I haven't commented on my community where like I don't view women as righteous. I view them as bitchy. I rather just fuck them and dip. But even then, I can't even do that. I can't have sex. I can't stick my dick inside a woman if she has a fucking attitude problem. You know what I'm saying? Because she has all that negative energy and demonic energy. Why would why would I even entertain that? I'd rather just watch porn and jack off and bust a nut versus fucking a woman who has a fucking attitude. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do that. Like, in anything, that's more enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? So like I'd rather do that. Because most women, I'm not sure if a lot of women are always like this, or maybe it's this timeline we're in, or because of these energies and these astrological influences and time speeding up. But just most women aren't healed. And I rather deal with the well, I'll deal with neither, but I'd rather deal with a fucking like unhinged man than a unhinged female. Because with an unhinged man, man to man, I could put him in his place, or like I have the green light to lay hands on him. But with a woman, I don't have the green light to lay hands on them unless they lay their hands on me. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I could do to a woman is to cuss a bitch out. You know what I'm saying? But I can't deal with bitchy women because they're just so annoying. They're just so like I don't know. They're just irritating as fuck. I can't deal with that shit. You know. I rather nah. You know. But yeah. But I have a lot of hatred towards some women out here. I have a very intense hatred. Like they're stuck up, and I hope they die, and I hope their kids don't make it. You know. Fuck them, man. Um and yeah, life definitely I'm not gonna lie, like life really kind of like it beating me down a lot to where like I do feel bitter. I am pissed off at what life put me through, you know, especially if you're like just like what Chauncey once said, like this realm, this reality, it will always find a way to make you have a cold heart. You know what I'm saying? And he's right, because there are times where like these same people who cause me a lot of like pain and suffering, I've done nothing to these people. I've done nothing. Even with family members, I've done nothing towards these people. But yet I keep getting attacked for no reason, or they'll project their bullshit towards me, right? You know what I'm saying? Or they'll just be annoying and where I have to cuss them out. It's just like, so I am bitter. I am upset. I am sad. I am like, I'm hurt because of what life put me through, of what people put me through, right? And just like what Chauncey once said, he understands why people have a cold heart. He understands why people are just out of it because of what life put them through. Even they're trying to live life righteously, right? And I'm not saying living life right. I'm not saying living life righteously to where like you're doing the right thing or like you're being a people pleaser. I'm not saying that. I'm saying living life righteously to where like you're living life with morals and integrity, and you're treating people how you want to be treated, and you're doing your own thing. But unfortunately, life will always find a way to attack you. I'm not sure if it's the rules of this realm or this reality or if it's spiritual warfare, or it could be both. I have no idea, but this shit gets annoying. But the best thing I could do for myself is to, one, obviously heal from these situations so I won't project that shit towards people, so I won't become bitter and cold-hearted. But I could also use those experiences to help other people, and use those experiences to gain wisdom, so I can help people on my YouTube channel or any platform that I decide to make. And I could use those experiences and wisdom to my best ability to help people get out of their situation, so they don't have to experience what I have to experience. Either that, or they'll have the knowledge that I wish I had back then dealing with these people, right? So that's how you gotta look at it. So if you're watching this video, if you're experiencing a lot of like spiritual warfare, or like people are just being assholes towards you, just know that you're not alone. Just know that like you're not going crazy, and it's not because you're soft or you're weak. It's not that at all. Especially if you're not reacting towards these people, if you're not giving them the same energy they're giving you, you're not weak. You're not being a pushover. No, you're none of that. It's more so these people, they're very weak and they're very insecure. So like they're just like, think about it. they're so weak that like all the emotions they're experiencing, they have to let it out and put that shit towards another human being. Do you know how weak that is? Do you know how fucking sorry that is? Imagine, like, grasp it. Imagine living life, right? To where like you have so much hurt in your heart and you're just out here just projecting that shit towards innocent people, especially people that are close to you. Because I've noticed a pattern. These same people who like project their pain onto me, um, these same people and me will have a very close connection. Either that or like we'll feel a connection with family members, coworkers, and friends. And unfortunately, these people they burn bridges like that. And that's the thing too, where you have to realize these same people who will cause you pain and torture and suffering, you're not the only one. They actually do this shit towards other people, whether you believe it or not. And you're probably watching this thinking like, oh, well, they're doing this shit to me, but when I see them interacting with other people, they're laughing, they're having a good time, or they're not treating them the same. Well, that's an illusion because either spirit life is blocking you from seeing how these people act towards other people, they're blocking you from seeing them get their karma, so you can heal and overcome your ego and your hurt, so you become a better version of yourself, so you can help other people to use it the best of your ability, and that's how you create blessings for yourself. But I have seen glimpses of, and I've heard stories, and I've seen shit with my own eyes of these people who would, the same way they'll treat me, they'll actually do that shit towards other people with their attitude, with their projecting, and shit like that. So just know that you're not the only one they do this shit to. They do this shit towards other people. You know? So, yeah, so it gets annoying, but, I'm gonna read this real quick. Give me 1 second. Sorry if I'm not reading your stuff. I'm just tapped in. But I'm gonna take a break so I can read your stuff. Everyone I met makes it a point to act weird as fuck to me. I know, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's weird too, yeah, because people, I don't know what it is about us. Is nothing wrong with us. And of course, in any connection, it takes two people, right? So it could be a business connection, it could be a romantic connection, it could be a family connection, any connection. Obviously, it involves two people putting in the work and doing the work so they could better themselves, right? So usually when things fall out, it's not just one person. It could be one person, but we all play a role. But that's one thing. But there's another thing where like people are just constantly doing shit to burn bridges or to start shit with you, right? So I get what you're saying when you said everyone I met makes it a point to act weird. Yeah, exactly. Like I experienced the same shit. Like I know what you're talking about. Like this shit is weird, and I even told myself like this shit, like people acting weird towards you for no reason, over and over again, even different people. I haven't told myself this shit is not normal, and that other people they don't experience that shit. So this shit's not normal. So just realize that like you're not going crazy, and yeah, this shit you're experiencing is not normal. So that's spiritual warfare. That's you're being attacked spiritually. And I know it's annoying. I know it's frustrating. I know it feels very isolated and alone. Trust me, I know that feeling. I know that feeling of this shit being unfair and not right. But just know that like it is a spiritual thing, unfortunately, and this you just use that as confirmation that you're meant for great things and you are going to get great things. Just don't let these people break you. If it gets too much, you got therapy work. You could turn your pain into greatness. Just take care of your mental health, please. Prioritize your mental health, even if it means you leaving a job, even if it means you being broke or homeless. I don't like the word broke. It's just a system term from these Masons to keep you stuck in the system. But if you just do what you got to do to get out of that situation so you can focus on your mental health, even if it requires you to not work for the system. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get a job and shit because people, yeah, exactly, because people freak me out how evil they are. I know, trust me, like I feel the same. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like people, trust me, bro. Like I get you, man. Just know that you're not alone, and you're not going crazy. This shit, it freaks me out. It like if anything, it disturbs the fuck out of me. Like it really disturbs my spirit. Like it disturbs me so much to where like I have to make an hour live, multiple videos of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Where I'll have sleepless nights and doing a lot of research on why people do that shit. If it feels like you're living in a sci-fi movie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, it freaks me out because, and if you notice, peep game, these same people who act weird towards you, look at their eyes, look at their energy, and pay attention to their tone of voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to observe or to focus on them because you're just give them your energy towards them, especially if they're negative. You don't want to give your energy towards negative people, but if you're forced to be around these people, kind of observe them. You're going to realize a pattern. They're gonna act out of character, and they all have a similar energy, or like they all act the same way, like they all operate from the same handbook. Now, people who aren't aware of this, they literally think that like they're the problem, or like there's something wrong with them, or like that's why people are acting the same. It's not that. It's because you're dealing with demonic entities. Demonic entities know who you are. They literally watch you, right? So it makes sense when they jump in from body to body to target you, they're going to say the same shit. It's like they know your life and they know what triggers you. What I've realized about my experiences being attacked by people like that is that these demonic entities, when they jump from body to body, they know what trigger you. They know what hurts you psychologically. So when people act out of character or they'll do shit at a certain time to harm you, is because they're influenced by the Jezebel spirit or a demonic entity or the devil, right? So like it's some paranormal type of shit. Like I'm telling you, like I know it sounds new age, but it is a real thing, and most people they can't grasp it because they never seen it, but it is a real thing. There's like me, like trust me, like I can't explain it because I've seen spirits, I've seen lower vibrational spirits before. This spiritual realm, or at least spirits, they are real. Um, paranormal shit like this is a real thing. I have seen people. There's even reports of people dealing with narcissists where like they'll change their eyes, their eye pupils will look different. Either that or like they have like a dark pupil eyes. It will change drastically. Their voice would change and their personalities would change. They'll like empathy, and then you'll meet the same people who do the same shit. It's not a coincidence. That's not normal human behavior. It's even physically impossible for human beings to change their fucking eyes like that because you're dealing with demonic entities. It's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, humans, we do not have. I don't care. I don't give a fuck how much spiritual information or how much spiritual videos there are. We still don't have as much spiritual information out there. We don't know how these other realms work. We don't know how these demonic entities and other beings in these realms work. We don't know that. So this is why, as people, we're still trying to grasp it. We're still trying to understand it. This is why people are talking about narcissism and the demonic sides of it, because we're still trying to understand it. Me, I still don't understand it, but I'm still trying to learn from it. But just know that this shit is a real thing. So when people are doing the same shit towards you, it's not you, it's them. But they're trying to convince you it's you so they could get you off your path. This is why I knew my frame on her title said narcissists are demons sent to what? They're sent to distract you and or destroy you, so you won't fulfill your purpose and life path. And other people talked about this shit as well. I just don't vibe in the society. It's fucked. I was surprised when I saw people like me, bro. Anyways, do you see spirit numbers? Hang on, bro. For you to be in the military and have these realizations is crazy, honestly, bro. That environment would make me crazy, knowing the system we know. I community. Honestly, bro, the reason why I even joined the military, well, I mentioned this in my other videos. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but the reason why I joined it was so I could get out of my abusive family's situation. Because if you're not familiar with my life story, well, one, I always wanted to join because, again, as human beings, we all have different life purposes and different life missions. So what may interest me may not interest you. Like some people, they want to be a barber. Some people, they want to some people want to become an entrepreneur. Some people want to make music. Some people want to become a professional sports player. Me, in my case, being in the military, because this is how my zodiac astrological energies are. So that's one of the reasons why I joined, because I had interest in it. not because I want to kill people or anything like that. No, I joined is because so I could get like new skills when it comes to jobs, like when it comes to like so it can help me be more set up in this in the civilian life, right? So I'm gonna become like for example, like I'm gonna get more advanced in being a fucking truck driver or be more advanced within computers and having skills within trades and shit like that. So it could set me up for success in the civilian life. That's one of the reasons why I joined. But I also joined so I could get out of my family's situation. So me, I don't have a combat job. I'm not into combat. I work with I work with logistics. I work with supply. So I don't do combat. I'm not infantry. There's a lot of jobs in the military that could really help you for success, but don't take my word from it. What may work for me may not work for you. But even then, I'm considering getting out because of just disrespectful ass people, you know. But one of the reasons why I even joined the military was so like, and also I get free college, but you know, and free eye surgery. But anyways, I joined because before I joined, I was stuck in a household where like there's no opportunity to get a job, and and I was working at these dead end jobs where like I was only worked for like 6 hours, and like I was around abusive family members. I had no car, I had no house. I was like 25. I mean, I'm 26 now, but I was like 24, 23. You know what I'm saying? So like I was that old, stuck in my house. My family were abusive. I had nowhere to go. I couldn't find any opportunity within work. I couldn't leave my state. So joining the military was my only option to get away from my hometown, to get away from my abusive family, and to create opportunities for myself so I could better myself, right? And it did because now I make more money. I have a car now. I have a car now. When if I do decide to get out, I could have free college and pursue a fucking trade and shit like that. But but that's what I'm talking about. Like in life, you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, this world is corrupt, but you just gotta do what you gotta do. You can be spiritual and you can also participate in society. You just gotta find the right balance. Like how I like to do is that like I study about spirituality, I study about the human mind. I'm aware of how corrupt it is, but sometimes we have to do what we have to do in order for us to make money. I'm not saying do what I gotta do what you gotta do because we all have different life paths. But I feel like within me, I feel like spirit wants me to participate in the system. Like like me, like I'm not an entrepreneur. Like me, it's hard for me to generate a lot of subscribers. Like obviously with me, I can't make money through entrepreneurship, right? Either I don't have the skills or I'm not built for it, or maybe in the future I am, but at least for right now, I'm not, right? So my best option to make money and to survive is to work for these 9 to 5 jobs, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. Do what you got to do in order for you to get by and to survive, so you can build up your own shit pretty much and invest, right? So it all depends on your life path and your life situation. Me, basically, spirit put me in a situation where like I have no choice but to work for a 9 to 5 so I could get out of my situation, so I could better myself, right? That's part of my spiritual path, is to participate in the system, unfortunately, right? But just because, and I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying my intuition is on point, because at any given moment I have the free will to not work for these bullshit jobs and to live at the fucking beach and to do yoga, to meditate and fast and do that shit. If anything, I'm considering doing that once my contract is over. I am considering of living in Los Angeles, living by the beach, and just not working and just, you know, living outside and just stretching, doing yoga, meditating, fasting, working out, and making YouTube videos all day. I am considering doing that, depending on how I feel once I get out of my contract is up, right? And I don't mind doing that because time is speeding up so fast, so it's easier for you to sustain yourself from food. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, man, I feel you just want to be free. I get it. With this system, it drives people to become mentally insane. It does. That's a fact. You see, most of these women, I will, at least from my observation, at least from my own experiences, I've been around women who are very mentally unstable because of them having to work for the system. My mom is like this. My mom, she her mental health is just gone. She's just gone. She's done. She has like paranoia. She has a lot of mental health issues, and there are times where she dealt with depression, but she had no choice but to work. So she didn't have time. So the reason why my mom is the way she is, the reason why my mom is very mentally disturbed, and she doesn't make the right judgment calls through her heart, is because she didn't have time to heal her inner child wounds. She didn't have time to heal her emotional wounds. Why is that? It's because she was, not only because she was forced to be around um people who lack empathy through generational curses, but also she didn't have the time to heal herself because she had to work, because she had kids at a young age, and she was forced to take care of these kids through work, right? So she didn't have time to take care of herself. She didn't have time to heal her emotional wounds, and by then, and even then, it's kind of too late for her to do that, because if you bottle up all of your emotional wounds, if you bottle up all of your emotions, at a certain age, it's gonna be hard for you to release all that shit, because all these emotions you're holding in from all these years, it gets stuck in your emotional body. And once it gets stuck to your emotional body, it's gonna be hard for you to release all that shit. So they hold all that shit in, and until they realize it, they're actually now becoming a very toxic, narcissistic person that's vibrating extremely low. So now they're susceptible to have demonic entities who influence their minds and their brains and their body, for them to um, project their pain onto innocent people like myself, right? And that's what new. Shout out to New Mind Frame and other people, because they talk about shit like this. This system, not saying people, they do have the responsibility to heal themselves, but with this system, if people are forced to work for the system, this system is gonna make you be distracted and not focus on your fucking healing. And Chauncey talked about this, especially time speeding up. This is why I want to talk about in my videos. Is not, yes, we do have to take accountabilities, but it's this fucking timeline we're in. You got time speeding up, and as babies, we're born into this corrupt society. We had no choice but to go to school. We didn't know what the fuck, like, we don't know how to get over it, because at a young age, our parents were forcing us to go to school. We didn't know what the fuck is going on. So growing up, constantly going to school, constantly going to work, we still don't know what the fuck is going on until we realize, hey, we're being scammed by the fucking system. The system is not allowing us to express ourselves. We can't even buy a fucking house that's that's affordable. We have to work damn near our whole lives just to afford a decent house, or to even maintain a fucking house and a car. That's not life. That's surviving. You can't even you can't really enjoy life like that if you don't have a fucking car or a house. Or it's, I'm saying, like, in order for you to maintain certain shit in life, you have to be a slave and work for the system. It is possible for you to have a car and you have your own place without working for the system. That's how life should be, but it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? And it gets tricky because Chauncey he said, like, within this reality, within this realm, nothing is free. So whatever you put in, you have to get out. So he even mentioned, like, even money never existed. There's always going to be a certain energy to where, like, you have to do something in exchange for something to get the things you want. And this is why, like Chauncey said on his YouTube channel, that's one of the reasons why these Masons, these J words, are able to get away with corruption and controls, because they know how the rules and regulations of this realm, of this reality works. This is why they're able to get away with a lot of shit for such a long ass fucking time. Right? But yeah, life is rough. Life is not easy. Life is very unfair. Life is very cruel. But just know that, like, there's always believe in a higher power. I recommend subscribing to New Mind Frame and following her Twitter account, because she talks about, like, a lot of stuff, man. So New Mind Frame helps me out in overcoming life situations, because she's the only person, like, I actually really love. So so it helps me get through the day, but it gets annoying though. It gets fucking annoying. Where, like, when you're trying to live life righteously, or you're just trying to run your own business, there's always a group of people or one person that's trying to fuck with you, right? This shit gets annoying. This shit gets really annoying. But just use that as confirmation that, like, if you're having certain people that are, like, constantly trying to fuck with you, just know that it's because you're meant for great things, right? But That's all I gotta say, man. And have it going. I hope this video helps. And peace out. Hang on. I'm actually gonna read your stuff because I don't want to ignore you by accident. And thank you so much, Ghostly, for commenting and messaging. I appreciate it, man. I just feel like my energy is so drained from caring about people that hurt me. It's hard to do anything for myself in my life. Yeah, I feel you. That's the thing. Like Ghostly, I recommend. No, no, you good. No, no, keep typing. Like I like when you guys type a lot. I want you guys to be engaged with my channel because I learned from you guys and any stuff you guys are going through. I could, it's possible I could help you guys too with my wisdom. Yeah, you mentioned that like you just feel like your energy is drained and that like from caring about people. Yeah, I feel you. And that's the thing too with these demons, with these demonic entities, their main objective is to do that. They're trying to target you so you could like not have the energy to love yourself and to lose hope within people. But just know that like even though it seems like a lot of people are like that, there are good people out there. There are people who have a heart. There are people who have a high awareness like you and me. There are people like that, you know. But the reason why it's hard to come across these people because it's like spirit or life is putting you in situations where like you have to be around shitty people just so you can learn lessons or just so you can observe them. But just know that you're not alone. You know, don't let these people affect you. I know it's easier said than done, but this is why just focus on your mental health to do what's right for you, and just don't give up and don't let life beat you down like that. You know, and if you study about narcissism and narcissistic people, the reason why they act the way they are is because they actually experience the same things we went through, but the difference between you and me versus narcissistic people and evil people is the fact that you and me, we have the strength and we have the courage and we have the humility to actually overcome these situations and to look ourselves in the mirror and to do the healing work. That's the difference. And that what makes us great. And that what makes us going to be great and attract great things. Great connections, deeper bonds, abundance, finances, happiness, abundance, peace. But compared to these other narcissistic people and these psychopaths and these cold-hearted people, they were in the same playing field as us. But what makes them different from us is that like these same people who are cold-hearted and narcissistic, they didn't have the strength, they didn't have the balls, they didn't have the fortitude to do the healing work that you and me are doing. And they took the easier way out. They took the weaker way out, in which they decide to, instead of them doing the healing work, they rather project that shit towards other people and to project that shit towards the whole world. And now that creates narcissism and narcissistic people. And the more they do that, then that means they're not doing the healing work. And once they're not doing the healing work, they're going to become more susceptible to pain and suffering. And when that happens, they're going to vibrate extremely low. And once that happens, then that means that gives room for demonic entities and the Jezebel spirit to manipulate their minds so they could be inside their minds and their bodies and their brain so they could use their vessel to harm innocent people like you and me. That's the cycle of spiritual warfare, pretty much. This is where generational curses come from. Generational curses within family systems are kind of different, but that's pretty much what life is from a spiritual perspective. And this is why this system is corrupt. This is why this system promotes unhealthy shit. You see, we're being attacked by chemtrails. You see all these unhealthy foods we eat. You see manipulation through these TVs. You see the Rothschilds, the Illuminati, money corruption, child trafficking, all this shit, right? Because all this shit we're experiencing is spiritual warfare. The shit that happens in the spiritual also happens in the 3D. There's another word for me. I forgot what it was. Soul within, soul without. Some shit like that. So the same shit you see in this 3D is also the same shit happening in the spiritual realm. This is why people call it spiritual warfare. This is why when I make videos of saying not taking life personally, is because you have to see life from a spiritual perspective, because life is a spiritual perspective. Life is short. So do what you love, fight for what you believe in, have courage, and don't let people life knock you down. Life is extremely short, so it's best to die fighting for what you believe in and following your heart. And it's good to, even people don't agree with you, if people don't see things from your side, even even if God or spirit, the higher self, don't agree with you, even if you disagree with them, that's all that matters. Because as long as you know in your heart that how you go about life, how you view life is righteously and in your terms is the right thing to do, that's all that matters. Even if God disagrees, the spirit disagrees, this realm disagrees, people disagree, it doesn't matter. What matters is you and your heart. This is why when you're alive, you still have a purpose. If you're alive, you're still meant for great things. I never understood when people say like they feel like they don't have a purpose or they're not meant for great things. That's bullshit. Because if that's the case, then you wouldn't be here. I understand life. People like to say it's life is meaningless or like life is just a script, which is it could be the case, but you're still here, right? You're still here, so you're meant for great things. You still have the opportunity to make this world a better place, and you ain't gotta even do that. Just simply enjoy life in your own terms. If it means being in the beach all day, if it means working, if it means playing, it means doing something. As long as you're at peace, as long as you're not harming anyone, and you're sharing your God-given gifts and your talents and your happiness towards the world and towards people, and you're spreading that shit, that's all that matters. And that's what life is all about. Because this life is very low vibrational. It's very low vibrational. This is why a lot of people are very like mentally ill because of this system, because of the society. So this is why more and more people are becoming more spiritual. So just don't take life personal, but take life seriously, but don't take life personal. Take life seriously for like all the things you desire and want. Take action so you can get those things. Because life is about hard work. Life is about effort. Nothing comes in easy. Things can come in naturally, but you have to be in the right alignment. And in order for you to be in the right alignment, you have to go through certain things to release certain blockages in order for you to be in the right alignment. Even then, that takes divine timing, so you can't really rush things. That's why I said don't take life personal, but take life seriously. So when people disrespect you, when people are acting shitty towards you, just know that it's not you, it's them. And they're being influenced by demonic entities. And more than likely, they do this shit towards other people. And they're going to create karma for themselves, especially in the year 2024, where we're in a Saturn year and shit like that. But I don't know if that's real or not. But there's other channels I recommend watching. Watch New Mind Frame. Watch New Mind Frame Tarot, and also New Mind Frame. Watch Chauncey Wan. Watch Mooney Mercury Babies. Other channels you can watch. But watch Denzel Moss and come up with your own conclusion on what's going on in this world. But just know that you're never alone, and you are light. You came from light. You came from love. So no demonic entity or person can take that away from you. So that's all I gotta say, and hope this video helps. And thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate you, and have a good one, man. Peace.